subcommittee of the executive committee to order. Take the roll, please.
Mayor. Butterfield. Brooke.
Yeah.
Freitag. Frizzalone. Here. Gould.
Here.
Hart. Here. Ogalla. Here. Taylor Perry. Here. Pinello.
Here.
Weigel. Here. Winsbury. Here. And Hughes.
Here. Each like to use the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a number of minutes to approve. The first was the leadership meeting in September 28th. Second, any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Quick mobility plan minutes from September 7th. Move. Second. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Quick mobility plan, September 14th minutes.
Second.
Move. Second. Any additions or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We're open IEPA to establish Laraway Communication Center. I think we're just going to move this forward, right? Is that the intent, Nick?
If that's your, yeah, we'd like to. We'd like to.
Yes.
That's the goal. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know if you want me to say anything about it or no.
I'm outside of America. Okay, I think last time we.
So I just.
So on the, okay, so what I would do is entertain a motion, move this to the county board agenda upon the state's attorney's review. Okay.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carries. And the new business, setting the number of sheriff's personnel. What this is we need to, sheriff is now taking on a little bit more of a role for security, like in this building. We do set the number of hours, the personnel for the sheriff. In this case, we use the full-time equivalency number, which is full-time employment, because a lot of these folks are part-time. So we approve a certain amount of hours, basically. We need to increase those hours because of the additional security requirement that we're asking the sheriff to take on. So I'll entertain a motion on approve. Yeah, motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Authorize professional service contract with Smith Ross and Andrews. Move. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Awarding bid for rural historical structure.
Move.
Move. Move second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Renewing contract for electronic recycling, permanent drop-off.
Second.
Move second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Authorizing the Intergovernmental Delegation Agreement with the IEPA and documents necessary to receive IEPA electronic enforcement financial assistance and any other ethical fee for funding through the durational Intergovernmental Delegation Agreement. Move second, all in favor?
Aye.
Should have shortened that up. Proclamations.
We're all set
here. Mr. Brooks, we're all set.
Yeah, we have two.
Two.
I'm looking for my seat.
And I think St. Joseph's requested to come out before the board and not talk with Gloria, who's brought them forward. They're going to have a chance to come up and actually receive the
podium then.
The
Yeah,
podium.
okay. And then the other one for school's choice, you'll just read it.
We'll just get that read in the record.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, then we got January 2017 appointments to the Board of Commissions.
Move.
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Committee reports, land use, Tom?
We didn't have a meeting, we didn't have any agenda items. I do have one comment. We had, at our stormwater meeting, the Illinois Water Survey gave a presentation concerning the dropping levels of groundwater in the Midwest area. And they give a presentation, maybe 20 minutes or half an hour. They're trying to go around to different governmental bodies. They went to the industrial committees for Will County, and I think that they'd like to come to maybe the executive committee to explain the situation. Is that something you'd like to hear about?
Well, I'm actually glad you brought it up, Tom, because I was going to bring it up. I do, they came out to talk about the depletion of the aquifers in Will County. And as most of us are aware of, Will County is still very dependent on groundwater versus lake water or river water. I think it's a real issue, along with some of the other issues that could potentially affect our groundwater, such as the dumping in the quarries. And by the way, Mary, I'm sure you're aware of this. The Attorney General has filed suit to the IEPA on the regulation of not monitoring the water.
Right.
Correct?
Yes.
And the reason I'm asking that, I don't know what we can do as a board,
we're
but we should be on top. Are we going to intervene in this?
We are a party as much. We filed a response. We filed pleadings in that appeal just as the Attorney General did. So we are in step with them.
Okay. So yes, can organizations like the Forest Reserve do the same? Just file,
I think that if you had been an objector under the original, this is in the courts now.
So just to stay on top of it.
Yeah.
So that's good to hear. Matter of fact, maybe I'll ask Mary to give us a brief on that at the county board meeting. One time maybe we can bring this up. I don't know if we like at a board meeting or executive meeting. I'd like to maybe let them do a presentation. Maybe they can do it right after the next Forest Reserve District meeting when everyone's present. Or that could be an executive meeting, ask everybody to stay. It's an extremely important issue, folks. It's, for whatever reason, it's one of those things that kind of just people don't seem to grab onto as a real issue. It's like, it is a very serious issue. So, yeah, Tom, why don't we get a hold of those folks? Beth, you can help with that. And let's maybe set up a presentation for right after the Forest Reserve District meeting. Well, can we do it? You want to do it as a committee of the whole? I think we can just ask everybody to stay. We'll just stay in this room. Ask everybody to stay if they're interested for the presentation. Then I don't have forum concerns. All right. Okay. Good. Anything else, Tom?
No.
Okay, finance. Mr. President.
Yeah, we have a couple things. We're going to be appropriating some grant funds in the sheriff's budget from Homeland Security grant. We're increasing appropriations sheriff budget from the staff grant. We're designating Amalgamated Bank of Chicago as the county depository, and we're identifying and we're authorizing the county executive to execute necessary tax documents and support things.
Any questions for Mr. Guzman? Mr. Gould, Public Works and
The Highway Department's getting ready for spring. They're purchasing a variety of different materials, aggregate and signs and so forth, which they do annually. And the only other thing may be of interest to District 12, there was a grant for ingress and egress for an auto service facility on Laraway Road. There was no objection, and the committee moved it forward.
Any questions for Mr. Gould? Judicial, Mr. Butterfield?
He is not here either.
Any issues for judicial? Okay. Public health and safety? Mr. Gala?
Yeah, we just have a renewing contract with pharmaceutical consulting services at Sunny Hill.
Any questions for Mr. Gala? Legislative policy?
We are working on the, we're going to have a resolution. We're going to have to do that, and I'm working with, Don and I are working with Beth, but Ray, I'm going to have
you kind of come in with this too, because I'm not going to be at the planning board next week.
So you're moving forward a resolution for NACO
Yes.
that deals with air traffic control.
Air traffic control towers over there for.
Okay. And Mr. Moran is, some of you may know and some of you may not know, Mr. Moran is a vice chair on NACO Transportation, and he's on the airport subcommittee. And he's done the bulk of the work on this. And of course, we're targeting Lewis Airport for this, and of course, that's also in Don's district, I believe. And it's an extremely important asset in Will County, and we need to bring things forward. So Don, do you want to comment?
Well, on this, it's pretty simple. It's just what happens is the FAA reauthorization expires in September, and what we've asked for NACO to take a position is that when that reauthorization happens in September, whether they pass a new bill or if they extend the current reauthorization, that they extend the pilot program for remote towers with whatever legislation they pass. So that's what we're supporting. I spoke to you briefly the other day about another resolution on essential air service money that small rural airports get from the FAA, and it really isn't related to Will County because there's only 3 airports in Illinois that receive that money. But I don't know if it needs to come before here or what, but I plan on submitting a resolution on that, asking for the FAA, for NACO to support, having the FAA support extending that EAS money that they give to small rural airports. There is small rural airports in Illinois. I think it's Decatur, Marion, and Springfield, and they get like $150,000 a year, and they can bank it for up to 4 years, and then after that they have to turn the money back in. The FAA receives like $300 million of that money back every year from small airports that don't spend it. But it's very crucial to small airport operations, and it helps us show some leadership on that committee. So I don't know if we need approval from the board to do that because it doesn't
I think that
affect Will. But
if it's going to be an official cut of Will County, it probably needs to come to the board. So if you can put that together, I'll leave a spot on the agenda for that, Suzanne.
It is put together, and I had Beth print out a big print copy for it's in your package.
Then I'll entertain a motion to leave us to add that to the agenda.
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. And I'm wondering, the Rural Action Committee, NACO, that we do according with law.
I was going to say, right.
I mean, Bob is on that.
Lori Summers has asked to be on that committee.
Lori Summers
I mean, I'm
is-
appointing why she's
Has
still
she
there.
been appointed?
Yes.
Has she been appointed yet?
Yes, she has.
Okay, all
Yes.
right, okay.
RAC for her.
Correct, right.
Yeah, RAC, yes.
Okay. All right. And the reason I bring it up is maybe she should bring that up at RAC as well.
We're talking about the rural committee?
Yeah.
Did Ms. Ogala, who's got seniority here, have an opportunity to say whether she wanted to be on there or not?
Well, you know,
Member of NACO can fill out the application and request the committee. I don't know. if she-
even though I think we're going to have to find different coordination for this, because we might have put 4 people from this county on the same committee. Don't work.
They don't allow more than 2.
They don't allow more than 2, but they're allowing 2 from each
Well,
party.
it just depends what committees that we're touching. I know transportation,
Anyway,
it goes on both sides.
We're getting off a little bit, but anyways, but if Judy has an interest, you can ask to go on RAC too.
Yep, that'll be fine.
Okay. If you want to do that, Judy, you can come into the office and we'll send in your request. You hear me, Judy?
Yes.
If you have an interest, come to the office and we'll send in the request. Or any other committee you may have.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anything else in there? Any questions for Ms. Hart? Okay. Capital improvements? Right there?
Nothing on the agenda for this month. I just wanted to remind anyone, if you got an email, that on January 25th at 11:30 a.m. at the Jacob Henry Mansion. Chief Judge James is going to have his annual State of the Courthouse address, and I think it would be great if all of us attend that. So that's it.
What is that again?
January 25th at 11:30 a.m. I want to say it's registration, and then probably starts at noon.
Yeah. By the way, you know, I don't know if everybody's seen the old bench downstairs from the old courthouse. It's going to be a nice ceremonial. It would be nice in the ceremonial court or addresses from the judge. So there's a little bit of history down there. So we did save something from the old courthouse. So everybody should take a look at it. It's really different era.
One more thing, we have a capital meeting on January 17th. It's 9:30.
What time is the ceremony?
For
the judge?
Lunch.
11:30, and then registration usually starts about noon.
And then the 19th or 17th, we have
125.
Yeah.
Next one.
Okay. Any questions, other questions for Reagan? Okay, we'll move along. Any questions for me on the executive committee? Okay, is there any public comments? Yeah, I also want to remind the County Engineering Search Committee that we're going to meet on January 19th, immediately following the county board meeting. Shouldn't take us very long. And we'll finalize things for our county engineer search. There is going to be a need for executive session. So before we get there, after that executive, we're going to talk about potential litigation, but then we know we don't need action from the board for the next meeting, right?
Yeah.
Resulting from that.
You're not gonna need action with regard to the executive session discussion, no.
So, because I'd like to approve the county board agenda as amended.
Second.
Move second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of potential litigation. Got a motion second, take the roll, please.
Mayor?
Yes.
Brooks?
Yes.
Whitehead? Yes. Griswold?
Yes.
Gold?
Yes.
Hart? Yes. Ogalla? Yes. Haley Perry? Yes. Pinello?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.